हेलो बच्चों, वेलकम टू Amazon Academy. हाउ आर यू ऑल? हाय गाइस. हेलो पूर्वांश. हाय नितिन. हेलो आरो. Good to see you guys. Quick attendance. Then we'll go on to today's discussion of work by energy. Yeah, I'm doing very well. I'm great. Hi Nihit. Hi. Hello. Have you all got your dates for March attempt, बच्चों? Admit cards. Hi Are. Are you all guys now ready for giving your mains exam? So when is the slot? When is the exam? Okay, so yeah, I know that Nathan is in 11th, but I think primarily this class is for 12th and droppers. So what are the time slots and which date have you been allotted for giving your mains exam? Sorry. Hi Vishal. Okay, 17th first shift. Right. 17th first slot. So all the very best in advance to all of you. I hope that you all are prepared now. And good, Nitin. So the thing is, bacho, make sure that you keep your mistakes in your mind as well, along with what you know. Please do make sure that you know the type of mistakes that you committed in the Feb attempt, you are not repeating them again, and that will be the manner in which you can go about your attempt for this March attempt, right? I think NG. The thing is that you know both are equally important, I guess. When you revise something and you get hold of the revision and you feel that yeah, all the things that were discussed are clear, then you can go on to the variety of questions which you can solve. And I think on the Amazon Academy app, you get a lot of variety of questions, and you can pick easy questions of the chapters and use it for practice. But make sure that you are comfortable in all the topics. I'm not saying comfortable in the advanced at the advanced level, but basically even if you get a simple question on EM waves, you should be able to solve it. So it's not that you know you are leaving 3 4 chapters again, and if any question comes in those chapters, you're not going to attempt it. It should not be like that. You should at least go through all the chapters in physics, and you know easy questions in those chapters you must be able to solve it during the exam, right? Will there be major change in marks versus percentile this time like the last year September? You actually, bachcho, you cannot predict anything. See, the problem is that you know this percentile is based only on the 6.3 lakh students who gave the exam. So if a new set of 6.3 lakh students come in and give the exam this time, there will be obviously 90, 80, 90% repeaters, but there will be some new students as well. So the percentile will automatically start changing. So even if you have got a very good percentile or a very poor percentile and you don't give the further attempts, I don't see any reason why it should remain the same. So the percentile, the last percentile or the last rank, they won't even give the percentile, I guess. They will just give out the all India ranks. So that might be very different from what you're expecting. So my idea is that if you're not happy with your percentile, then give the attempt with a clear head that you have to score the best you can, right? So don't worry about what is going to happen in at the end. But you know the main thing is that you know you have to make sure that you know you give your best every time when you go and give the mains attempt. Great, NG, good to know. Although I think very good news is going to be given to you very soon, that there will be some NEET courses launched. You know, and I think they should be here in a couple of months. Hi Winglet, great. So, bachcho, let's begin our discussion for today. Nice to know a couple of different views and great discussion. This is about myself, bachcho. I hope you guys know about me now. My name is Ashish Gupta. I did my BTech from IIT Bombay, bachcho. I had a decent marks, rank, and experience. But bachcho, घमंड बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. And घमंड means bad ego for those who don't know the Hindi meaning of घमंड. Now, so bachcho, live class best practices. Join classes on time. Attend all classes. Keep revising. Be polite. Never spam. Use my doubt section. I think, bachcho, yes, there will be something on JE Advanced, and it should be again known to you very soon. So just keep yourself updated. Yeah, we will be revising some formula for previous classes as well, bachcho. Yeah, we will do that. So the system requirements, you can use either Chrome or Firefox. and use Android version 6 and above, and you'll need some internet speed. So get a speed of 5 Mbps and above for smooth flow of class. I think SR, the idea was that, we are trying to cover, we had covered a lot of things in the last crash course. In this crash course, we are trying to cover around 100 marks out of 300. So the idea is that, probably you will be able to pick those 100 marks out of 300 and get around 70-80 marks. And from the remaining 200 marks, if you can score by yourself around 50-60 marks, you are going to get a decent enough score, right? The thought was like that. And by the April attempt, we are going to cover around 200 marks. So our thought process was that, hopefully you can get around 160, 150. Yes, it all depends upon practice, no doubt about it. You have to make sure that you follow the timetable which was given to you, and you have to make sure that you have to really work hard. The self study has to be there, otherwise all these classes will be of no use for sure. Even if you study from anybody, right, anybody who will be able to teach you guys, but you have to make sure that you do some self study after the class, then only the benefit will be there, right? Top 1000, I think, beta, top 1000 should be, if you see the number right now, 6.4 lakh students gave. I think that number will increase to around 11 12 lakhs at least. So the final ranks, if you observe, then you need some 99.9 percentile at least to get into top 1000 bracket. Okay, yeah. So, Bachcho, is there any doubt you want to ask in DPP? Any doubt, anything? I think the DPP was pretty straightforward and easy. I wanted you guys to attempt it in your and get a feel of, the type of questions that might be asked in mains, and I hope that all of you were able to solve. Beta, nothing can be predicted about the score because the papers are quite random. But for an average type of mains paper, yeah, I think 250 marks is a good, definitely a good score. And out of 300, if you get 250, you will definitely get 1000, under 1000 rank. Yes, NG. Okay, sure. So, any doubt in DPP, Bacho? If not, then we will go on to the revision. So, try to quickly give me the answer of the following formulae, and we must all be, aware of those. What is the vector form of torque for a point mass? Then vector form of angular momentum, relation between torque and angular momentum, right? Then you can write it in your notebook, bachcho. No need to write it on the chat box. It's just that it's for your revision. We are discussing it. Relation between tau and alpha. Relation between L vector and omega vector. Then we can say total kinetic energy in T plus R motion, angular momentum in T plus R motion. What else can be there? I think acceleration in pure rolling on inclined plane, and friction, value of friction force for the same thing, right? What will be F? So I think it's pretty straightforward, not giving you a lot of time to think. You just have to quickly write down the answer. So torque is obviously equal to R cross F. Angular momentum is equal to R cross P, right? You have to be very careful, bachcho. R cross F is not same as F cross R. So no silly mistakes allowed. Relation between torque and angular momentum. Tau is equal to dl by dt. Please check. Then torque and alpha, tau is equal to I alpha for fixed axis rotation, we can say, right? Fixed axis rotation. Angular momentum and omega vector L is equal to I omega. This is angular momentum along omega vector, if you remember, right? It's not necessary that for a fixed axis rotation, the angular momentum has to be along omega vector. It's not like that. Angular momentum component along omega is I omega. Okay. Total kinetic energy in T plus R. I think again pretty straightforward. Half m vcom square plus half I omega square. Angular momentum in T plus R, angular momentum total is angular momentum of com plus angular momentum of body with respect to com, right? Acceleration in pure rolling, g sine theta upon 1 plus I upon mr square. Please check. And the value of friction is mg sine theta upon 1 plus mr square divided by I. Let me see how many of you got all the answers correctly. Please be very genuine in your responses. How many of you were able to replicate all the formulae by yourself? And please use notebook and pen to write down and to solve questions in today's class as well. Whatever questions we are going to discuss, bacha, I would really appreciate if you guys solve it in your notebook. Okay. Okay. Good job, Nitin. Nice, Winglet. I think I could have even asked for IOR, right? IOR, then kinetic energy total is half I about IOR into omega square. This is applicable even for T plus R, right? Okay. And SPUR, also mention your name so that I can, remember and recall the names. Like my memory is pretty decent, okay? I'm not that bad. So with time, I should be able to recall and remember at least most of you, if not all. So do, in the messages in between, you can also add your name. Okay, Siddhant. Good. So, Bacho, let us go on to the fundamental concepts. Like the lesson structure is pretty obvious. We are going to discuss WPE and also the remaining part of COM, right? So, we had discussed center of mass along with rotation, and we'll be discussing about, we'll be just going through the important part of momentum conservation and collision along with work by energies, right? So, bachcho, if we recall what is work and work energy theorem, then we can say that by work energy theorem is so very popular. Work energy theorem, work done by all forces is equal to change in kinetic energy, right? This is for sure everybody must be very aware of, and this is one of the very important theorems which are used extensively while solving problems as well. Also, what's your definition of work? So work is defined as integration of F dot dr. Over here, dr is nothing but small displacement, we can say, right? Now, bachcho, we have to be very careful over here that the popular formulae which you study in your 6th, 7th classes as force into displacement are not the absolutely correct formula of work done, right? They involve a lot of we can say assumptions. Now, what are those assumptions? Like if force is constant, then we can say work done is equal to F vector comes out of the integration, and integration dr becomes displacement vector, right? So this becomes F dot x. I hope this is clear to all. And also, bachcho, we can say now that the work done is equal to Fx cos theta. This is equal to Fx cos theta, where theta is the angle between force and displacement. And we can say that, work done is equal to force into displacement if theta is 0, right? Theta is 0. That means if force is constant and theta is 0, then only you can use this very favorite formula of students. Usually, those formula which usually gives you a lot of marks in your, earlier classes, smaller classes, are so favorite of the students, they are not able to forget it, right? So whenever they have to find out work, they will always think of this formula because it has fetched them a lot of marks in smaller classes. But in 11th and 12th, these old formulae tend to give you negative marks instead of giving you positive marks, okay? So be very careful before you apply this formula. This is only applicable when theta is 0. Otherwise, I think most of the times you will be using either this or the variable force formula, right? Now, but in this we can also add that work done by mg, right? Work done by mg, because force is constant, so work done by mg can be written as mg into displacement in direction of mg, right? This is the simplest way of quickly writing down the work done of mg. So bachcho, if you take a block and this block goes in a random direction and it reaches over here, if the vertical height covered is bachcho h, right? Vertical height is h, then what will be work done by mg over here? Can I say that this will be equal to plus mgh? Please check. I hope this is fine, right? Because in direction of mg, the displacement that the block covered was obviously equal to h, and force is in direction of displacement, that is why the plus sign. So I hope there is no problem in it. What is work done by spring force? That is also something which has a very standard formula of minus half kx square. So it is useful, and please remember this as well. Okay. So here x is bachcho, here x is compression oblique elongation from natural length, right? So these simple things should be very clearly remembered. There should not be any doubt in the mind that when you can use this formula and when not. So I think this is pretty okay. Conservative and non-conservative force, bachcho. Again, I think again you should be quite aware of this. Conservative force is in which work done over a closed loop is zero, right? Or we can say work done depends on initial and final location of path, right? Now I'll tell you a very interesting formula to check if force is conservative. There will be a batch double A, and just be patient. I think it should be updated on the dashboard pretty soon. So year-long batches will also come soon, right? So to check if force is conservative, bachcho, there is a very interesting formula which is called curl of F, right? Curl of F. I wonder if anybody of you is aware of this, but curl of F you will study during your engineering. So right, to check if the force is conservative, curl of force is equal to 0. Now this ulta delta bachcho, this reverse delta is something which you might be knowing about this operator, vector operator. This is called vector operator. This is del by del x I cap plus del by j cap plus del by del z k cap, right? So I'll be telling you about this if you don't have any idea. But yeah, to apply this on force is not a big deal. Okay. So this seems very difficult to see that this is what is this equal to. Now this is partial derivative. This function is partial derivative with respect to x, right? So it's not that difficult, but to apply, it's not that difficult to apply, but you have to remember this form. Okay. I'll let you know about what exactly is this and how to calculate it. It's pretty easy. Okay. For non-conservative force, you know that work done is not equal to 0. Work done not equal to 0 for closed loop. So give me some examples of conservative and non-conservative. I think again very much aware you should all be. Gravitational force is conservative, spring is conservative, electrostatic is conservative, right? And non-conservative mein bachcho, we can say that non-conservative will be friction, drag forces, right? These are non-conservative forces. So let us go on. We are basically covering the important parts, the things that you must remember. So for potential energy, what you should remember, delta U, that is the change in potential energy, bachcho. If potential energy is represented by U, change in PE is equal to minus of work done by conservative forces, right? So this is how we define change in potential energy. Absolute potential energy for gravitational force, it's a very popular formula. I hope you recall mgh, right? This is the formula for gravitational force, potential energy due to gravitational force, and U due to spring force is half kx square, right? Half kx square. So this is the height from ground. And x is bachcho compression and elongation from natural length. Okay. Next. Now this is interesting relation between force and potential energy. So बच्चों delta U is equal to minus F dot dr. I hope this is also something which you must be aware. And the reverse formula is U, in fact force, if you have to find force, that is equal to minus gradient of U. Now this ulta operator, right? ये बच्चों this is what we were talking about earlier. So we can write this as minus del U by del x I cap plus del U by del y j cap plus del U by del z k cap. So tell me बच्चों, if U is equal to x square plus 2yz, then what is del U by del x? Please try. Let me see how many of you can quickly give me the answer. If U is equal to x square plus 2yz, what is del U by del x? Del U by del x बच्चों. Now del U by del x means that this is a partial derivative of U with respect to x. I am very amused because I think double A is calling me bhaiya. I am pretty amused. I am happy about it because I have seen some of the smaller kids calling me uncle sometimes. So it sounds very nice. But yeah, but beta, I'm very very older than you guys are. I'm almost double your age. So it's upon you. You can call me bhaiya. It's not a problem, right? But I have always, seemed to, hear myself as sir, right? So that is the thing. So bhaiya looks really cool. You are 2.36 times older. It might be actually. For those who are in 10th or 11th, those guys might be around 15, 16 years. So I'm approximately, yeah. And basically, you guys might not be knowing, but yeah, tomorrow that ratio will increase even more, right? So I am right now 32 years, 364 days old. Tomorrow I'll become 33 years and 0 days old. Okay? Yeah. देखिए, even though I don't like praising myself and घमंड तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं है, I don't have that, but still suddenly the screen has frozen, right? And I don't know why, but I think God has seen that there is some sort of घमंड coming into me. That is why the screen might have been frozen, right? Thank you, beta. Thank you. I love when you guys wish me. Thank you, thank you. Just joking, okay? But yeah, I'm very serious about the day. It's tomorrow, and even though my Aadhaar card and PAN card and DL has a different birthday, because in earlier days, what used to happen, the parents loved when their kids used to start studying sooner, so they usually changed my birth. The date of birth usually got changed in earlier days, right? Hi Ekta. Yeah. So my Aadhaar card birthday is on 30th of December. So on 30th of December also I told my students that today is my Aadhaar card birthday, but yeah, tomorrow is my actual date of birth. Yeah. So thank you guys. So del U by del x is obviously equal to 2x. Now bacho, we have to assume y and z as constant. Y and z constant. So obviously it becomes very very easy. So it becomes really very easy, and yeah, so 2yz, if you differentiate this with respect to s, that will be equal to 0. Yeah. Okay, so similarly, bachcho, del u by del y. Please try. Del u by del y. Hello, Ekta. I think, yeah, I hope you are happy now. Thank you. BD is. Right, yeah. Del u by del y. Now, bachcho, x square, if you differentiate this with respect to y, it will become 0. And if you differentiate this with respect to y, the answer will be 2z. Similarly, bachcho, del u by del z. X square if you differentiate with respect to x. Balu. Yeah, I forgot. I think Balu has been very regular. I think you've been attending the classes very regularly. So x square, what your differentiation is going to be 0, and 2yz if you differentiate with respect to z. This answer will be 2y. So actually the partial derivative is quite easier to calculate as compared to the normal derivative, even though by the looks of it it seems very difficult. Okay, so it's not like that. Thank you, sir. So don't judge a book by its cover. That is the thing that you must all remember from this part. Thanks, double. Thank you. It seems really nice, to interact with you guys even on this platform, and really enjoyable experience. So, bache, equilibrium, obviously F net is 0, and we just discussed that force is equal to minus del u by del x and all that, in partial derivative form. But if there is only one dimension involved, right? If there is only one dimension involved in u, then we can simply use minus du by dx. Okay. So, bacho, over here, when we discuss about the types of equilibrium, we have three types actually. One is unstable, the other is stable, and the third is neutral. Now, I really hope that you have an idea what unstable means. If you displace a body from, its equilibrium position, it does not come back to its equilibrium position, right? It just goes off. Hi Surya, you want to visit my home, and okay, don't worry. I think I live very far off from where you live, but I'll do share my celebration tomorrow. So I'll do share something, right, on Insta or Facebook or something like that. I'll do share that so you guys can enjoy. Okay. So unstable equilibrium, बच्चों F net is 0. Therefore, du by dx is 0. And over here, d2u by dx square. Bachcho, so I would like you to tell me what will be d2u by dx square for an unstable equilibrium. Is it going to be greater than 0 or less than 0? I think Balu, you can search for me. I don't think I need to send you my ID. You can easily search. Okay, so not a big deal. I think I'm tagged even on Amazon Academy platform, the Insta page. So I hope you will be able to find me. Right? So d2u by dx square. So obviously, bachcho, this has to be what? Greater than 0 or less than 0? What do you think? It's very interesting to see if you're not able to answer this correctly. I'm not sure whether this is something which you should not be able to answer. It's less than 0 for unstable, greater than 0 for stable, and for neutral it's equal to 0. Okay. So this is how we differentiate between unstable, stable, and neutral. So for unstable, this term is less than 0, this is greater than 0, and this is equal to 0. Okay. Surely. Bachcho, in vertical circular motion, again, I think if you have to give it a speed u and it completes the vertical circular motion, the minimum velocity for which it completes the VCM, that is something which you need to remember, that is root 5gl. I hope this is a formula which everybody knows. This is u minimum to complete VCM, and this is for rope. Okay, this is for rope. Also, bachcho, to reach point A, u minimum to reach point A is equal to root 2gl. So these are the two values which you all must be remembering, and you must be able to recognize. I don't think this is very difficult. The thing is that the tricky part over here, which most of you might forget, but you have to remember it, that tension in rope can be 0 before V is equal to 0. That implies worry about tension in rope. Okay. And all the questions of VCM involve energy conservation, right? Energy conservation, conserve energy, that is sum of P and K is constant, and equation of motion, right? So let us see a problem based on it. that if you are given बच्चों root 4gl, you are given a you gave this a speed of root 4gl. So tell me at what angle theta will this rope get slack? Let me see how many of you can get me the answer. If u is equal to root 4gl, find theta for which rope slacks. Rope slacks means tension is equal to 0. Okay. Rope slack means tension in the rope is equal to 0. Let me see if anybody can solve two equations and get the answer. So u is root 4gl. You have to find the theta for which the rope becomes slack. हिंदी में we can say that rope ढीली हो गई है ना. That is something I hope you can understand from this, that what will happen. No, I think Balu 180 degree is not the correct answer. Not at all. It won't be a very good degree angle. You will have to get some sine theta or cos theta. That will be a good fraction, and you won't get the exact value of theta from that value, but the fraction is going to be good. U is the speed which is given to the mass. U is the speed that is given to the mass, which is connected at this point, and it is going to go in a circle, right? Let me see how many of you can get the answer. You can assume this length to be L, but the answer will be independent of L. This L will get cancelled out. What I just discussed, bachcho, if you conserve energy conservation, if you apply, then what will you have if this bob increases in its height? Then gain in PE is equal to loss in KE. Now the thing is, where the students usually make mistakes is that they assume over here that velocity is 0, whereas over here velocity is not going to be 0 because the tension is 0, not velocity. Okay, so see how I am writing down the equations. So gain in potential energy, bachcho, that will be equal to mgl into 1 plus sine theta. Please check how did I write this down. This complete length is L. This length is going to be L sine theta. So the total length is going to be L plus L sine theta. Okay. It will be good, SR. That will work for you. It's a good reference. You can use it. Previous year questions is a good reference currently right now. Loss in kinetic energy, bachcho, half m u square minus half m v square. Please check whether this equation is fine. The second equation is obviously going to be the equation of motion. So if I draw the bob right now, the tension is 0, but there will be a component of mg, bachcho. If this angle is theta, this angle is going to be 90 minus theta. So the component of mg is mg cos 90 minus theta, which is equal to mg sin theta. That will be equal to, bachcho, mv square by r. Please check. Yes, definitely. Net force is equal to mass into radial acceleration. So when you substitute the values, m will get cancelled out. Fortunately, 2gl 1 plus sine theta, u square, bachcho, is given as 4gl minus v square. Over here you can see that will be equal to gl sine theta. So when you solve this, what is the value that we are getting? Please check. So it will be 3gl sine theta is equal to 4gl minus 2gl, that will be 2gl, and therefore the answer comes out to be sine theta is equal to 2 by 3. Please check. Is it fine? Did you understand, bachcho? So in VCM you have to make sure that you are able to make these two equations, that is the equation of motion and energy conservation. These are the two important parts in VCM, and 99.99% of the times you will have to make these equations and get the answer. Okay, is it fine? Although, and if I look at the previous year questions, then VCM is not the preferred part of asking questions. Usually the questions come out from work and power and the content that we discussed earlier. But yeah, this is a easy part if you understand this segment, that you just have to make the proper equations and get the required answer. So bachcho, power is also very easy. Rate of work done is called power, right? Power is rate of work done. So this is equal to dw by dt. and instantaneous power can be written as force vector dot velocity vector. There is another formula for power, that is average power. Okay, I'll repeat the energy conservation equation. Total work done upon total time taken. This is again a easy formula that everybody must be aware of. They must have studied in their smaller classes. In energy conservation, बच्चों, gain in potential energy, this is L and this length is L sine theta, right? So gain in P mg into this vertical height is going to be L plus L sine theta. So you can write in this manner. Okay. And the loss in kinetic energy, initial kinetic energy is half mu square, final is half mv square. The difference of these two is going to be the loss in kinetic energy. Fine. Okay. Double A U R. What's your name? Start solving these questions, bachcho. Let us see. Let us try solving these questions based on the discussion till now. Please try. These are all current, yeah, previous year questions, but they are of a decent level. Don't assume them to be just you can just look at them and get the answer. Use your notebook and pen to get the correct answer, and don't be in a hurry. Please try. Ting, 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 ting. Yeah, you are correct. So, beta, in which class are you? A, double A? I don't think you are of class 12th. Are you? Are you of class 12th or 11th? So, bachcho, there is a person who pushes the block on the rough horizontal surface, and initially, bachcho, force is constant, displacement is given as 15. Then he gets tired and the force reduces linearly, right? Linearly, it's not something which is now constant, it is a variable force. The force reduces linearly with distance 200 Newton. Okay. The total distance through which box has been moved is 30 meter. What is the work done by the person during the total movement of box? Okay. So, bachcho, obviously, this question has two parts. For the first part, we can say that force is equal to 200, and work done is force into displacement. So, first part, work done is going to be 200 into 15. That is pretty easy, and it is going to be 3000 joule. So, any option which is less than 3000 does not make sense. For the second part, now, bachcho, you have to be focused, right? If I draw a graph between force and displacement, then what is going to be the work done? We can say that the area under the curve will going to give you the work done, right? Okay, I'm giving you 1 more minute, Nitin. Try to get the answer of second part. I've given you a hint now to calculate the work done for second part. And now if you draw a graph in which there is a linear variation of force, linear variation means that the graph would look like a straight line. And if you calculate the area under that straight line, you will get the answer for the second part of work done. Okay, so Chirag is getting the answer as B. How can the answer be B, Chirag? Because the work done has to be positive for the second part. So obviously the answer is going to be greater than 3000. So if you look at the diagram, and if you look at the graph, in fact, not even the diagram, then force versus displacement graph would look something like this for the next 15 meters. So if you take this as 0, this as 15, this is for the next 15, and this is 200, and this is 100. So area under this trapezium is going to be the work done. So this is going to be half into 200 plus 100 into 15. So this is coming out to be बच्चों 2250, and if you add these two, total work that is equal to 3000, right? I hope this is clear. Any doubt बच्चों? Anything you want to ask? I hope this is fine. Okay. Next, a 60 horse power electric motor lifts an elevator having a maximum total load capacity of 2000 kg. If the frictional force is 4000 Newton, then the speed of elevator at full load is close to. Again, you will have to write down the equation, beta. How can you just look at the question and give the answer? Huh? Not everybody is Tony Stark, right? Do you recall the dialogue that Thanos gave Tony Stark? You are not the only one. Blessed with powers. Any Marvel fan over here? Hmm. You see, when I asked Marvel fans, then the messages have started coming. But the responses when I'm asking the questions are not that quick, right? So good job, good. I am also Marvel fan. I like their movies, but currently the work is to solve the questions correctly and try to relate it with the concepts of power. And all the questions which come on this topic have only either of the two formulae. Either it will be force vector or velocity vector, or it will be total work done upon total time taken, right? So that is the idea. No, but a KTG is not done yet. But in the previous crash course, it has been done. I think in the current crash course, there might be a topic on thermodynamics. So keep checking the dashboard for the topics that you want, and probably they will also be discussed in due course of time. I think B option is correct. Yes, I think B is correct. So, bachcho, what we can say over here is that the elevator is obviously going with a constant speed. So, whatever the elevator is trying, the elevator motor is applying a force, is basically going to balance the mg force, that is 20,000, and the frictional force, that is 4,000. So, this force is basically equal to 24,000 Newton, right? So, the power of motor is equal to this force into speed of elevator. So if this is 60 horsepower, this is 60 into 746 is equal to 24,000 into V. So I think V is approximately equal to how much? 1.8. This is going to be closer to 87, I guess. So the closest possible answer is 1.9 meter per second. Please check. Right? I hope this is fine. Right. Okay. Yeah, nice, Suhas. Good. Good job, Nitin. Winglet, Chirag. Good. Next. Please try, bachcho. I think this requires a bit of application of work energy theorem and a bit of work done. only for the formula work done. So be careful, but try to get the correct answer in your first attempt. So a cricket ball is thrown vertically by a bowling machine and it goes to a max height of 20-meter. I'm not solving the question, I'm just repeating the question. If the part pushing the ball applies a constant force F on the ball so that it moves by a distance of 0.2 meter while launching the ball. Hmm. And this is horizontal basically, so it's not, there is no mg in this part. So what is this going to be? Now we can calculate bachcho by either of energy conservation or equation of motion, whichever you want to use. Once you get the value of v, you can use that work done by this force is changing the kinetic energy of ball, right? So please try. Hmm, 150 or 15. So getting a couple of answers, I think 150 seems more closer. Let's see. So this V is going to be bachcho, root 2 GH obviously, and this is basically 20 meter per second. Now force into zero point 0.2, that is going to be work done on the ball, that is half mv square. And if you just substitute the values now, then this is going to be half into 0.15 into v square is 400. So this is going to be 200. 200 into 0.15 is going to be 30. Force is going to be 30 upon zero point 0.2. That makes it 150 Newton. Please check. Please check. Alright. 150 Newton is correct. Okay. Any doubt, bacho? Anything you want to ask? Do tell me if there is any doubt. Very easy question. But just don't make a silly mistake. Be very careful. So I think this question is something that should, if this type of question comes in your exam, you should totally thank God for asking such type of questions. But then you will have to make sure that you don't make any kind of silly mistake, right? So, bacho, if it is projected at 60 degree, first of all, you have to look the projection angle is with horizontal. Thankfully, had it been with vertical, you had to be more careful. So just be careful in such questions that you don't have to make a mistake. Don't have to be in a hurry. So, bacho, if this is the speed of projection, then u cos 60 will be the speed over here, that is equal to u by 2. So initial kinetic energy that is given as k is equal to half mu square, right? So the final kinetic energy that we have to calculate is half m u cos 60, that is u by 2 square, which comes out to be 1/4 of half m u square, and that is basically equal to k by 4, right? So obviously the correct answer is going to be D. Please check. I hope this is fine. Any doubt? I think TP beta, how can you get the incorrect answer for this question? Please check what mistake you committed. Not acceptable at all, right? Please check. But such type of mistakes everybody does during their student time. Even I did. So you have to learn from those mistakes and don't repeat them. Okay. The thing is that if you have done this mistake for the first time now and you are in 12th, then basically you are short of practice, right? All of you must have done these type of mistakes much earlier, and now they must be used to in observing the questions and not making such type of mistakes uh, during the mock tests now, right? And obviously, in a couple of days, you will start giving your March attempt mains. So just make sure, bacho, when you get a easy question in front of you, take 10 more seconds, but don't make any sort of mistake, okay? A body of mass 2 kg is driven by an engine delivering a constant power of 1 joule per second. The body starts from rest, moves in a straight line. After 9 seconds, what is the distance traveled by the body? So, this is a very interesting question. And again, everything is given. It's not that there is something which you need to really think about. It's just an application of basic formula of power. I think Nitin, try it out once more. I guess the answer has to be some sort of an integer. Please try. Yes, Suhas and Chirag, I think both of you are correct. Kardesh, like, is this your new name, Winglet? I thought WA is Winglet. Units error, not acceptable. Okay. Okay, nice. So, body of, so I'll even learn new words, if I keep teaching. When I was in actually have learned some words, but I just keep, when you are not using those type of words in your day-to-day routine, then you start forgetting them. But yeah, no problem, NK, but just make sure that it does not happen during the exam. Now, bacha, if there is a constant power of 1 joule per second, and you have to calculate the distance, I'll think that if the power is constant, then total work done is going to be equal to change in kinetic energy upon time, right? So if you equate this by half mv square upon 9, mass is 2, so v comes out to be bacha 3, right? Now, but it has asked you distance, not speed. So what you can do, bacho, you can use the formula of instantaneous power, that is m v dv by dx. This is force into v. So bachcho, over here we can write that v square dv is equal to dx, right? Mass is 2, okay? And if you perform the integration on both sides, then this comes out to be v cube divided by 3. 0 to 3 is equal to x. That is the displacement or distance what we have to find. So over here we can see x comes out to be 2 into 9, that is equal to 18 meter. Please check, bachcho. Is it clear? Any doubt in this? Please check. Is it okay? Is it fine? So it's a very interesting application of the formula. Even if bachcho power is constant, it does not mean the acceleration of the body is constant. Okay, so we cannot use even the equations of motion to solve, right? Because acceleration into velocity is constant, and therefore if the velocity is increasing, the acceleration is going to decrease. So you have to be very careful. You might get a urge to use some standard formula which you have learned earlier, but you have to be very careful when the power given is constant. You cannot be in a hurry, right? And this is an easy question, I would say. A little bit of calculation that makes it a bit moderate, but if you have solved 10 questions on based on power, then you cannot make a mistake in such question. Next, please try. A particle initially at rest at the highest point is slightly displaced. It will leave the circle at a vertical distance h below the highest point. Then what is the relation between h and r? Please try, bachcho. Again, something which you must have all solved earlier. These type of equations, the equations of motion, the energy conservation, these equations you all must have done, must have used in your 11th class chapters. So again you have to do them, you have to write down those equations, but just don't make a mistake. Get the correct answer in your first attempt. I think if you look at the options, two of them are quite, obvious that these are absurd options. This cannot be the answer. The ball will leave the this smooth vertical circle. This is basically a sphere, right? You can say that this is a sphere, so it will lose it in the first quadrant over here. So obviously h is going to be less than r. So obviously, but A and B does not seem correct. These are incorrect options. It has to be either of C and D. So when you will think about how we wrote equations in VCM when I gave you the velocity as root 4 GL, then you can again बच्चों write down the equations of energy conservation. Loss in PE is equal to gain in KE. So loss in P, बच्चों, what will be loss in P? mg into, suppose this angle is theta, right? So this distance will be r cos theta. So I can say that loss will be equal to r minus r cos theta is equal to gain in kinetic energy, that will be equal to half mv square, because over here the ball, when it was released here, its speed was 0. So this is the first equation. The second equation is going to be about the equation of motion. So here bachcho, normal contact force will be equal to 0, then it will leave the sphere. So I can say that component of mg, and bachcho component of mg is going to be mg cos theta is equal to mv square by r, right? This is the equation of motion. So we can quickly see that mv square by r is equal to mg cos theta. So this equation comes out to be mg into 1 minus cos theta is equal to half mv square by r is equal to mg cos theta. So mg gets cancelled. Cos theta comes out to be bachcho 2 by 3, right? And if we check what is h equal to, so h is r minus r cos theta. That makes the answer as r by 3. Please check. Answer will be option D. Good job. I think all of you have got the correct answer. That's great. Good job, Shashank. You are triple S. Nice name, huh? Shashank Shekhar Shukla. Triple S. Good. So I hope this is clear. Any doubt in this, bachcho? Is it fine? Hello, and I am great. How are you? So any doubt, anything to ask? Good job, Nitin. Nice. Good. Next question, bachcho. Let us see a simple question on equilibrium. If you are given this function, which is the potential energy function of force between two atoms, A upon r ki power 12 minus B upon r ki power 6, then find the value of r for find r stable equilibrium. Find r for stable equilibrium. We discussed about equilibrium a while back, and I told you a couple of formulae. And one thing that was common was du by dr has to be equal to 0. Thank you, Shashank. I'm actually feeling quite amused today, right? I have been teaching completely offline for 9+ years now, and I haven't been that amused till now, except for this class. I'm not sure how to respond. The only person who has ever called me bhaiya was my small sister. So I'm feeling little odd, except for maybe some cousins whom you meet every couple of years, right? स्टेबल फॉर स्टेबल डबल डेरिवेटिव लेस देन जीरो होना चाहिए. नो बेटा, आई थिंक फॉर स्टेबल स्टेबल greater than 0 will be there. Like suppose this is a well, okay, and this is basically even a function of u. So if you observe over here, as in when you increase the value of r, then your slope is increasing. Okay, so del u by del r, if you observe, it is increasing with r. Therefore d2u by dr square is also greater than 0. It's greater than 0 for stable and less than 0 for unstable. So it's a simple calculation, bachcho. Over here du by dr is equal to 0. So if you just solve this, minus 12a upon r to the power 13 plus 6b upon r to the power 7 is equal to 0. That gives you the value of 2a upon r to the power 6 equal to b upon r to the, in fact we have just removed the value of r, it's equal to b. So r comes out to be, bachcho, sixth root of, and plus minus 2a divided by b. Now since bachcho r cannot be negative, therefore we can remove the minus sign because r cannot be negative. And if we get only one single value of r, then it has to be for stable, because we are being asked the point of stable equilibrium. Okay, yeah. Had there been two options over here, then we would have double differentiated and got the possibility. But if you are only given, if you are only getting one possible value of r and you want to find the point for stable, then you need not check d2u by dr square. Okay, otherwise we would check it if there were more than a single answer, and then we would have concluded. But currently there is no need for any further calculation. Okay. So, bacho, let us also discuss the remaining part of today's chapter, that is law of conservation of momentum. So, bacho, initial momentum equal to final momentum, that is the law, and it is based on the net external forces on the system is 0, right? In that case, the conservation of momentum takes place. Okay. We also have to remember that internal forces cannot change the momentum of system. Internal forces cannot change momentum of system. However, they can change kinetic energy of system. They can change kinetic energy of system. That means internal forces can perform work, right? Like the explosion of bomb. So if the bomb gets exploded, if the bomb explodes basically, then obviously these segments have their kinetic energy, and the system kinetic energy also increases. So why is that? Because of internal forces. So we have to remember this part, and it's extremely important to remember that internal forces can change the kinetic energy of system, but they cannot change the momentum of system. Okay. Impulse, bacho, again the value of impulse is nothing but change in momentum. This is the impulse momentum equation. Yes, like bullet and gun. So when there is a recoil of a gun, the kinetic energy has increased because of internal force, but the momentum hasn't. Okay, good job. So also, bacho, over here, important points in impulse is that normal contact force, normal tension, and friction forces can provide impulsive force, the force that acts for a very small time, but it's huge in magnitude. Okay, whereas gravitational and spring forces are non-impulsive forces. So these forces cannot dramatically increase their value significantly for a small period, small time, right? They cannot do it. They are non-impulsive forces. Okay. So if you have to apply an impulse, you usually take the help of tension force. So basically there is a block and there is a rope. Then you give a jerk to the rope, then the block starts moving. Okay, right? So if we talk about collision, bachcho, quickly let us also discuss about collision. Then we will discuss questions based on it. The regular class schedule will be uploaded on the dashboard, bachcho. Just keep yourself updated on the dashboard. It will come on the dashboard whatever the schedule of classes will be. So collision, bachcho, we know that it is the transfer of impulse, right? And types of collision, we can primarily break it into two types: head-on collision, and the oblique collision. So this is the head-on collision. What we say, bachcho, over here that the if they are colliding like this, then the common surface this is the common surface. The line which is perpendicular to the common surface, that is called the line of impulse, right? This is the line of impulse. So the impulse gets exchanged along the line of impulse. So what we say over here, when the velocity of masses, when this velocity is along the line of impulse, the collision is head on, right? We can say that V is along line of impulse, then the collision is head on. In these types of collision, we can break it into elastic, inelastic, and perfectly inelastic. In elastic collision, bachcho, E is equal to 1 and loss of kinetic energy is 0, right? There is no loss of kinetic energy basically. Then in elastic collision, E is basically between 0 and 1, right? And delta Ke is not equal to 0. Basically delta Ke is greater than 0, you can say. And for perfectly inelastic, E is equal to 0 and delta Ke is maximum, right? So this is the loss in kinetic energy, right? But about E also, there is a simple formula. For elastic, no F external is applied. Which type of elastic, beta? Winglet? Like what elastic? What elastic are you talking about? Not clear. E is velocity of separation. Velocity of separation upon velocity of approach. So, bachcho, over here, if they are going at U1 and U2, and suppose these balls rebound by V1 and V2, so what is the velocity of separation? Velocity of separation is going to be V1 plus V2 over here, and velocity of approach over here is going to be U1 plus U2. Okay, so it depends upon the sign of U1 and U2 as well. Because we have taken U2 towards left, therefore we will have to write in this manner. Otherwise, if we take this as, it is going at U1 and U2, and after collision they go at V1 and V2, then the value of E is going to be V2 minus V1 upon U1 minus U2. This is how the coefficient of restitution will come. And suppose E is equal to 0. So E equal to 0 implies V2 is equal to V1, that is masses stick after collision. Mass stick after collision, right? Coefficient of restitution. Yes, E is the coefficient of restitution. Now, bachcho, there is another type of collision which is called oblique collision. Oblique collision is interesting because, this is a little trickier than the head-on collision. So, in oblique collision, bachcho, the velocity is not necessarily along the line of impulse. So, if these are the two masses and these are U1 and U2, then after collision, what is coefficient of restitution? Beta, a simple standard formula of coefficient of restitution looks like this. Okay, beta, PR, are you in class 12th for sure? If you're asking me about E, are you in 11th or 12th? And be very genuine in your answers, don't worry. Even if you are in class 11th, many 8th, 9th, 10th students also attend our classes, so not to worry. If you're asking me about what is coefficient of restitution, are you in class 12th or 11th? PR? 12th, okay. So beta, E is actually velocity of separation about velocity of approach, right? So the thing is, that velocity of separation implies that after collision, the rate at which both the masses are going away from each other, right? So over here we can say that the rate at which both are going away from each other is v1 plus v2. Yes, Nitin, 8th class students also come in the classes sometimes just to enjoy and just to have some entertainment because they are usually quite bored sitting at their homes. They have been sitting at their homes for last 1 year now. So yeah. And what about velocity of approach? Similarly, bacho, velocity of approach, you can say that when two masses are approaching each other by relative speed of u1 plus u2, then the velocity of approach will look like u1 plus u2. Okay. But this again, this is not a term that you are hearing for the first time. Obviously, I think you must have seen this term somewhere earlier as well. Okay. Yeah, I know that, Nitin. So the oblique collision, bacho, in the oblique collision, line of impulse is not along the velocity. We can say line of impulse is not along velocity direction of both masses. So what we can do over here, bacho, is that we can say that whatever be v1 v2 or u1 u2, we can break. In order to solve this, we can basically, what we can do, we can break u1 and u2 along line of impulse and perpendicular to line of impulse, right? So along the line of impulse, bachcho, along line of impulse, use head-on collision equations, right? And what will be those equations? Head-on collision equations, momentum conservation, and equation of E, right? These two are the normal standard equations that we use. And perpendicular to line of impulse, yes, sin cos component लेंगे, yes. Perpendicular to line of impulse, no change in velocity. They will remain same. Right? So over here, if I take an example, bachcho, then this u1, if this is making an angle alpha, then u1 sin alpha will not change. It will remain same. And u1 cos alpha, bachcho, that will be taken as the head-on collision velocity. And we can use similarly, basically break u2 into two parts and use our head-on equations of momentum conservation and E equation to get the required unknowns. Okay. I hope this is fine. So the idea is that, just focus on getting the correct answers on head-on collision, and you can convert the oblique collision into the head-on collision, and one component of velocity will remain same and it will not change, right? It will remain same, that the perpendicular component will not change. Okay, no problem, beta. So what we'll do, what we'll try and do, bachcho, is that we'll try to discuss using questions. So first you guys try. So somebody who has not solved any question on collision, then also we will try to cover all the parts and we will try to write down the both equations of momentum and E and get the answer methodologically. Okay, so first you guys try. This is a JEE 2019 question, and then we will discuss these in detail. Okay, let me see how many of you can get the answer by yourself. Please try. Okay, triple S. Yes, you can. You can basically convert a oblique collision into into a sort of a head-on collision. Yes. Okay, so how do you guys get the answer within seconds? Huh? VS? Are you playing that game? Akadam Bakadam Bambebo? Huh? How do you guys get the answer within seconds? It's quite amusing to even think that within 10 seconds. I think I think the answer might not be 3.5 m. We are pros. Oh my god. That's a nice one. We are pros. I am not amateur. Hmm. But your answer is wrong, beta. Or you might be becoming pro at getting the wrong answer in your first attempt, is it? You are legend. Beta, you all know that even if you praise me as much as you want, but you know I won't. My ego won't go into that direction. मुझे घमंड नहीं आएगा, right? Oh wow, Chirag, nice. So you are basically remembering all sorts of formula and using them over here. Hmm. Direct formula. You know, I really hate remembering formula for physics usually. I make sure that you know your concepts are strong, because otherwise what happens if you forget the formula during the exam, then you will simply curse yourself because you are lacking so much of practice. Okay. So the thing is that you know alpha particle is given of mass m, and it suffers a collision with a nucleus. Let us assume that this is m dash of unknown mass. We have to find m dash. So if it is going with speed u, bacho, and it then collides with m dash and it rebounds with some speed due to which 64% of its kinetic energy is lost, that means, bacho, the initial kinetic energy of alpha particle is half mu square. If 64% is lost, beta, then 0.36 times half mu square is the final kinetic energy. I hope this is clear. That implies, bachcho, that its final speed, if I say that this is half mu dash square, is going to be 0.6 u. Please think. If you write kinetic energy final as half mu dash square, then u dash is going to be this, so that this 0.36 term comes over here. So we can say that it rebounds with 0.6 u, okay, and this is an elastic collision. So I can say that E is equal to 1, that is the velocity of separation. Now, bachcho, we can assume that m dash is going with speed v. So velocity of separation is v plus 0.6 u upon velocity of approach is u, which implies v is equal to 0.4 u, right? Once you get the value of v, now you can conserve momentum. So initial momentum equal to final momentum. So bachcho, what is initial momentum? That is mu, and the final momentum is minus m into zero point 0.6 u plus m dash into v. So this comes out to be equal to, bachcho, this comes out to be 1.6 mu is equal to m dash into v is 0.4 u, which implies m dash is equal to 4m. Please check. The idea behind solving the question so quickly, you know, the way I explained it, I took the double of time which I would usually take in solving the question. I won't do it in air. I will try to write it down on a paper. But the idea is that even if I remember the formula, I won't take a lot of time, you know, as compared to using the formula. So that is why I usually say that, you know, try to recall, try to remember the concept behind it. Why did we conserve momentum? That is very important to remember. Why did we use the equation of E? And once you are adept at using, adept means ADEPT, once you are expert in using these formulae, then it won't take a lot of time to get the unknown. That is the idea. Okay. So if you remember, if you try remembering a lot of formulae even for collisions, you will start losing that feel for collisions while solving problems. Okay. So that is the idea behind solving the equations and getting the answer right. Triple S does forget the formula, and that's pretty obvious. Okay. So I hope this is clear. Any doubt, beta, in this? Anybody? Anybody who wants to ask anything in this? Is it okay? Is it fine? Have you understood this part? I'm assuming yes, you have understood. Next. Great. So, a body of mass 1 kg initially at rest explodes and breaks into three fragments, and you are given the mass ratio as 1 is to 1 is to 3. The two pieces of equal mass fly off perpendicular to each other with speed 30 meter per second each. And what is the velocity of heavier segment? Now, this is a basic question on the conservation of momentum, right? I don't know, Nitin. I don't know. Probably my age is a bit on the higher side for you to be comfortable calling me bhaiya. Had I been, a little more younger, then it would be okay. But I'm okay with that as well. It's not a problem. It's upon you if you feel like. I think sir looks more on the cooler side. I think bhaiya is little bit informal. But yeah, I think because I'm not used to, hear somebody calling me bhaiya. That is the thing, right? Yeah. So what happens is that sir is more, you feel that classroom vibe going on, and that is quite important to learn, right? Because what happens. This is my observation that when you're studying, when you want to learn something, there has to be that kind of respect that you are. And I did believe in this as well. Even now, when I do visit my school teachers, I still have that kind of respect. I don't even if they are not that old, I still keep calling them ma'am and sir. That kind of respect and regard helps me and helped me to learn quite a lot of things from them. So yeah, that is the thing. So if we are basically studying, then yes, I think that sir and ma'am works quite good, quite well. But yeah, I'm quite cool enough to even be okay with anything, right? So it's not a problem for me. I'm not like that school teacher or ma'am who used to scold somebody. I really don't, it's not in my genes to keep scolding guys. I feel bad if I scold a kid myself, so I don't like it. Now, what is the answer that you're getting? गेव दी IMT. गुड जॉब विष्णु जी आ गए. विष्णु जी को नमस्ते एंड प्रणाम. नाइस नाइस गुड. सो या फॉर अदर्स एज वेल बच्चों डू गिव दी ऑल इंडिया मॉक टेस्ट. आई थिंक दैट इज लाइव. A body of mass 1 kg explodes and breaks into three fragments. So we can say that bachcho initial momentum is 0 and then final momentum is also going to be 0. And what is the final momentum? The two pieces fly off perpendicular to each other. What is the speed? What is the velocity of the third segment? So this is bachcho 30 I cap and this is 30 J cap. Yeah, I like this question. This is one of again my favorite questions. One of the favorite questions. This is m into 30 I cap plus m into 30 J cap plus 3m into v vector, right? So this brings the v vector as minus 10 I cap minus 10 J cap and magnitude of velocity will be 10 root 2 meter per second. Please check bachcho. So this is something which is very important and sure beta. So this is something which is important because many of the times I find children making mistakes and giving me the wrong answer, giving the incorrect answer of 20. Usually students do get the answer of 20 or some of them even give me the answer as 0. So obviously both of them are not right. 10 root 2 is the correct answer. So I hope this is fine. Any doubt bachcho in this question? Is it okay? Is it fine? Please check. So one of the mass is going towards j cap, other is going towards I cap, and sum of these three vectors is going to be 0. Therefore, we get the answer as this. Okay. Yeah. So another question on collision. Two bodies of the same mass are moving with the same speed, but in different directions. They have a completely inelastic collision. That means E is equal to 0. Completely inelastic collision means E is equal to 0 and move together after with the final speed which is half of the initial speed. What is the angle between initial velocities of the two bodies? Mm, 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 mm. I think beta ऐसा nobody can guarantee something, but yeah, our hope is that you guys should be able to score at least, uh, on the basis of these chapters, you should be able to attempt around 30-35 marks in physics. And for the remaining chapters, you will surely you have done some sort of practice for by yourself as well. Then you should be able to attempt at least 60 to 70 marks of physics and hopefully get 40-45 marks at least, right? E will be 1 beta in elastic collision. So obviously you have to conserve momentum. There is no other option, bachcho. M into V1 plus M into V2 is equal to 2M into V. Right? This is the equation. Okay. And we can say that V1 plus V2 upon 2 is equal to V vector. Now the thing is that bachcho, they have the same speed. So V1 is equal to V2 is equal to V. The magnitude of these vectors is equal to V, and that is basically, if this is V naught, we will also say that magnitude of V vector is equal to V naught divided by 2, right? So we can say that V1 plus V2 is equal to 2V vector. That implies bachcho, if the magnitude of V1 is V naught, if the magnitude is V naught, if V2 magnitude is V naught, then 2V magnitude is also equal to V naught. Remember, recall bachcho, the resultant of two vectors magnitude is same as the third one, or we can say the magnitude of resultant is same as the individual magnitude. So what is going to be the angle between the vectors? Obviously the answer is going to be 120 degree, right? Please check. 120 degree is going to be the correct answer, right? It's a very interesting question. They tried to make a new question, but if your concepts are clear, I don't think you will make a lot of mistake in this. Oh, we are done, bachcho. So I hope this is clear. Is it okay? Any doubt in this question? Is it fine? So, bachcho, I hope you enjoyed today's session. Very entertaining, very interesting. Okay. Yeah, PR. I'm going to repeat this again. No problem in that. So obviously, bachcho, if we recollect this equation is for momentum conservation. This is for momentum conservation. So initial momentum is equal to final momentum, right? So when you will remove this m, and you can basically ignore this. No need. So if this is bachcho, we can just remove m, then this is v1 plus v2 is 2v. So magnitude of v1 is v naught, magnitude of v2 is v naught, then magnitude of 2v is also v naught. That is given in the questions. Okay. So we can recollect that the if a plus b is r vector and all three have the same magnitude, then angle between a and b is 120 degree. This is a simple logic. You must have studied that in vectors during your 11th class and also in maths as well. Okay. So for sure, bachcho, the answer is going to be 120 degree, right? Okay. So bachcho, I hope the session was interesting today. I hope the type of questions that we discussed were also good. And sir, you will be 40 next week. Oh my God, Chirag, do I really look like 40? Oh, wow, Siddhant. Yeah, I do remember you. I thought asking you that are you the same Siddhant, but yeah, I guess. Yeah. So great knowing that you were here. Nice, nice. So, Bacho, we'll meet soon, and all the very best to all of you for your mains exam. And I really hope that you do really well, and when we'll meet the next time, and I think the class will be on physics and measurements on 22nd of March. We will meet and we will discuss the paper. How did you go about it? And I really hope that bachcho, all of you do give your best. You do give your best. Make sure that you don't repeat the mistakes that you did the last time. And we will meet very very soon. Okay, bachcho. Thanks for all the compliments. Thank you, SR. Thank you, beta. Thanks you, Balu. Thank you. Thanks, beta. Bye, Winglet. Thank you, bachcho. I'll miss you too as well, guys. Bye bye. Take care, and all the very best for all of your exams. And in Hindi, I would say फोड़ के आना, okay? Or have faith in yourself, have faith in your abilities, remain confident, keep working hard, okay? And definitely, बच्चों, we will meet very soon, right? Bye, बच्चों. Bye. All the best. Signing off. Take care, बच्चों. Bye bye.
For detailed videos, daily practice problems and live chat, visit academy.amazon.in or download the app.